we go. DTV 411 coming your way in 3, 2, 1, and cue.
This is a technology change that is going to be good for the viewers and good for the consumers. That's what's driving it.
And roll 2.
The images are much clearer, digital versus analog. The sound is clearer.
Stand by rolling G1.
Once you see the picture, it is something else.
Stand by camera 1.
If you've ever watched a hockey game on television, the only way you'll ever see a puck is with high-definition television.
Stand by rolling G2.
Once somebody has seen the Masters in high definition, they're not going to watch it any other way.
And my cue.
You see far-off places and exotic things that you wouldn't necessarily recognize on a conventional set as to really how beautiful they are.
And cue.
It is bigger than the change from black and white to color. It's much bigger than that.
And one's up.
It may be time to say goodbye to the old RCA and invest in something different.
Stand by to trigger C.
So it's an amazing technology, it's exciting, and the more that people see it, the more that they realize that and want to be a part of that experience.
And my cue.
All in all, I think it is good for the consumer.
2, 1, and cue.
Digital smidgital.
Hey, don't be that way. Try to keep an open mind.
I'll open your mind.
Before we go on, we should probably introduce ourselves. I'm digital.
And I'm analog. And I like it.
Uh-huh. Anyway, we're here to talk about the upcoming digital television transition. On February 17th, 2009, most television stations stop broadcasting in analog and go completely digital.
I'm not transitioning to nothing.
Hey, you may like the new you.
I like the old me.
Well, I like you too. In fact, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. We wouldn't have television if you weren't here. But television as we know it is about to change.
It's going to have a little bit crisper, sharper picture.
Hank Toller is joining the digital revolution.
There's just no comparison in how much better the quality of the picture is that than the analog that I have now. And also, I think that the technology is just going that way, that, you know, at some point in time, that's all you're going to be able to get a signal for.
This is going to give you about 4 times the resolution of the TVs you've had in the past.
Hank's not just getting digital TV. He's also going high definition.
I think the thing that actually put me over the edge with it was going to other people's homes that had HD TV and seeing how much better it was. And then when I got home and looked at my TV, it was like the difference in black and white and color.
TV has certainly come a long way since the invention of the cathode ray tube in 1897. The tube generated the image for the first TV built in 1928.
I love that little TV.
You may be old, but you're not that old.
Anyway, television stations began to pop up and television sets began to be mass-produced in the 1930s. But it wasn't until after World War II that television ownership in the United States really took off.
Television becomes the place that people get their entertainment. Television becomes the place that people get their news.
Color television was developed in the late 1940s, but color TVs were too expensive for most families.
So it took all the way to the mid-1960s for television, color television, to sort of get firmly ingrained.
The 60s also saw the first transatlantic television signal sent via satellite.
And then once that satellite technology goes worldwide, now we've shrunk the world. And we've been able to bring people things on television that they weren't able to see before.
The 80s brought TV programs into our homes via satellite and cable.
And we have more channels and more options.
Digital television arrived in the 1990s with sharper pictures and sound and even more programming choices.
All in all, I think it is good for the consumer.
So does the FCC. It's requiring full-power television stations to stop broadcasting in analog and go completely digital on February 17, 2009.
Yes, there were some expenses that had to be incurred, but we realized as an industry that the best technology was digital technology, and that upgrading to digital was, in fact, a way to better serve our audiences.
Television stations nationwide have invested billions of dollars on the new equipment they need to make the switch.
I think it's an investment that broadcasters are happy to make because we see, particularly with high definition television, a total new era for us, bigger than color.
Color is overrated.
Hey, analog, don't look now, but you're in color.
Oh, yeah. And I think I look pretty good, too. Who needs all this digital stuff anyway?
Actually, a lot of people do. The digital transition's not just about better choices on your TV and a sharper picture. It's about public safety, too.
How's that?
Well, just stay with us and you'll see.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm right here.
I was talking to them.
Who?
the viewers.
Who? I don't see anybody.
Analog. Before we talk about some of the other benefits of the digital transition, let's have a little lesson on just what digital really is.
I'd rather have a root canal.
Now bear with me. It's not that complicated.
Let's get back to the complex design that we're working on.
I found a professor of electrical engineering to help explain the difference between analog and digital.
We live in an analog world. So in some senses, you can think of every signal as actually being analog.
That's right, and I'm all powerful.
What the professor really means is that all the light and sound that we see and hear with our eyes and ears is actually analog.
A television camera captures all of that as a wide range of voltages in an analog circuit. Then a digital circuit converts it to only the highest and lowest voltage, eliminating all the voltages in between, which is called noise.
So a digital circuit will always have less noise coming out than went in. And that property allows you to do a whole lot more computation than you would otherwise be able to do.
Less noise means a sharper picture, and the ability to do more computation with a signal means it can be manipulated so more content can be squeezed into the same space. Imagine, your channel's a square and your analog signal's a triangle. There's lots of wasted space inside the channel, but you can manipulate a digital signal to make it the same shape as your channel, which means you can fit more signals into your channel.
And so you can have a channel 9-1 and 9-2 and 9-3 and put something different on all of them.
That's called multicasting. Your favorite local channel can actually be several channels. A 24-hour news channel, a sports channel, and even a weather channel. Hey, analog, pay attention.
Huh?
I was saying that by eliminating unwanted noise, digital creates a sharper picture.
Speaking of unwanted noise...
And digital also means that you can fit more content into the same channel.
Hey, I got content. I can get up to 4 channels, like this one, and this one, and this one. And there's one more I can get if I hold foil in my teeth and hold my right hand up just like this.
Very impressive.
And look, I can adjust my picture. I've got hue.
Who?
Hue. And tint. And hey, check this out. V-hold. Woo! Woo! Woo!
Well, that's great analog. With digital, though, you won't have to adjust your picture as often. But the digital transition is about a lot more than better pictures and sound. By eliminating analog transmission from the airwaves, it frees up space for all kinds of things.
Like the empty space between your ears?
Very funny, analog. Look at this.
ETA of 3 to 4.
This is a 911 communication center in the biggest city in our state. It depends on wireless communication.
Wireless is critical to all public safety, regardless of where you're at.
But there's limited space on the public airwaves for wireless transmission, especially transmission of data.
We really don't have the spectrum we need in a lot of areas to deliver all of the services we need to deliver and grow.
When TV stations stop broadcasting in analog, more of the spectrum or airspace will be freed up for public safety communications.
It will give us a chance to send new information to the police cars and the fire trucks that they never had available instantly on a scene or near instantly.
The information location is filled in now.
Imagine if a policeman stopping a suspect could pull up not only a criminal record, but also mugshots and fingerprints on his wireless laptop. Or if a firefighter could find out what hazardous chemicals are in a burning building and where they're located before arriving on the scene.
That would be a huge benefit to these guys.
We got to get you to the medical stations.
The new airspace may also help multiple local, state, and federal agencies talk to each other in an emergency, something that would have really helped on 9/11.
The last thing we want, again, is to have something go wrong and have groups of people saying, I couldn't talk to the guy next to me who was in another area of expertise, therefore somebody got hurt.
So, what do you think, Analog? Do you see the benefits of the digital transition?
Well, that kind of makes sense. I'm all for helping our police and firefighters and improving Homeland Security.
I hate to say this.
Don't!
But I...
Stop!
Told you so. You might want to have somebody take a look at that. Hey, I haven't finished talking about the benefits of the digital transition yet.
I was afraid of that.
Well, the airspace being made available when broadcasters switch from analog to digital on February 17, 2009 doesn't just help first responders. It can be an advantage for wireless consumers too.
The FCC just auctioned off some of that newly available airspace to cell phone companies for almost $20 billion. That'll give those companies the ability to deliver more internet-type services.
And these services will be richer, they'll be faster, and they will be like the types of video services you can get on your desktop computer right now.
So, Analog, you may be able to watch TV on your cell phone.
Don't have a cell phone.
Well, maybe your children or grandchildren will want to watch TV on their cell phones. Come to think of it, I'm kind of like your grandson.
Well, don't think you're going to sit on my lap or anything. But I might teach you how to swim.
Analog, you know electronics and water don't mix.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've explained the differences between analog and digital, and the benefits of digital technology. Now let's talk a little bit more about who's going to be affected most by the digital transition.
Well, let's not.
You know, you being analog technology and all should really pay attention.
Okay, when's it gonna be?
I already told you, February 17th, 2009.
Oh, a little Valentine from Uncle Sam saying, "Sayonara, Analog. Love me and then leave me."
Stay with us, won't you please? About 12 to 15% of people in our states still get free TV over the airwaves using an antenna.
What's wrong with that?
Well, nothing's wrong with that, Analog. It's just that those will be the people directly affected when digital broadcasts replace analog ones on February 17th, 2009.
People like J.M. and Susan Mewborn. Susan likes to watch news and her soap opera on a small TV in the kitchen.
I spend a lot of time in the kitchen baking and cooking, and I just like to have it on. I like to hear it.
J.M. likes to watch the news in the den.
I like always to stay abreast of world events, national events, and local events.
J.M. bought the TV in the den nearly 30 years ago.
They could pay close to $1,000 for it then. It was one of the best you could buy. We've never had it serviced. It's the same tube, and it has many hours on it.
There is no cable service in the rural community where the Mewborns live, and they don't want to pay for a satellite TV system.
At our age, I have been very careful to try to preserve my little tiny nest egg.
So, the Mewborns get their local channels from a rooftop antenna. But when digital broadcasts replace analog ones on February 17, 2009, the Mewborns' analog TVs will no longer get a signal.
You just hate to do away with it when the picture's good, and we just like to keep it.
J.M. wrote to his local television station and got information on how to get coupons for converter boxes.
I always tried to stay ahead of the game, not behind. So I wanted to get in line to make sure we had those converter boxes here so we wouldn't miss out on anything we wanted to see.
The converter boxes can be purchased at just about any major store that sells electronics.
Basically, they take the digital signals that are being broadcast currently and they'll convert it to an analog signal.
Leave it there.
The boxes will enable people like the Mewborns to continue to watch their favorite programs on their existing TVs.
It is in the broadcaster's best interest to make sure that our customers' viewers can receive our signal.
The federal government is issuing coupons to help cover the cost of converter boxes.
You fill out a simple form and you're eligible for 2 coupons.
It lists the locations, the retail locations where I can redeem this for the converter boxes that I may choose to purchase.
Each $40 coupon can be applied to the purchase of 1 converter box. The boxes start at around $50.
Very reasonable. We have no qualms with that price.
Hooking up a converter box is just like hooking up a cable box or a VCR.
The cable comes over and goes directly into the box right here. And then there's another cable that comes out of this box, and there's a similar receptacle in your existing television set. It plugs over into the television set, and then basically this is your tuner for picking up those signals.
And just like a cable box or VCR, you tune your TV to channel 3.
Then I hit auto scan and it goes through and locks into all of the channels that your antenna is capable of picking up in the area. Once that's done, you simply have to hit the channel button on here to go between those channels.
All of them give us adequate coverage.
With a converter box, the Mewborn's analog TV will get a better picture and more channels without having to pay a monthly fee for cable or satellite.
We'll just wait and see how this works out. It sounds good to me.
But there's still a lot of confusion about the upcoming transition.
What transition?
The transition I've been telling you about. The digital transition.
When's that?
February 17th, 2009.
People don't understand the date. They don't understand what the government's doing with the coupon program. They don't really grasp what's going to happen to their old analog sets.
Engineering, Matt Brandis.
That's why this TV engineer is suddenly fielding calls from viewers.
Well, at least 20 a day, if not more. People call up a little mad because they've heard that we are eliminating their television. We're turning off their TV in 2009, and that's it. If it's not connected to cable or satellite, you'll need a converter box for it.
But he takes time to explain what the transition really means to viewers.
They're our bread and butter, and we owe it to them to try and inform them any way we can, really.
Tyler Hobbs was hired by a local television station to handle email and letters about the digital transition.
It's averaging about 28 letters a day. Some people are very confused about what equipment they need and how they need to get it. Some people are asking why this is happening. They don't see any problem with what they have now and are wondering why there has to be a change.
Hobbs sends them information about the digital transition and about how to get a coupon for a converter box if they need one.
The industry really stepped up, understanding the importance of making sure that all of our viewers understand what they need to do so they can continue to receive their favorite stations and their favorite broadcasts through their antennas or wherever they might be receiving it.
It won't matter how much you adjust it, hit it, or pound on it.
Nationwide, the television industry is spending $1 billion educating the public about the transition, on television, on the internet, and out in the community.
It will be hard for viewers across the country not to get this message of what they need to do to successfully navigate the transition.
So what do they need to do, Plasma Face?
Depends on their situation.
If you have cable or satellite, you're already getting a digital signal and don't need to do anything. If you don't, and you're getting free TV over the air through a rabbit ear or rooftop antenna, you'll lose your signal unless you have a digital TV. If your TV is older than a 2002 model, it's probably analog. To find out, check the owner's manual or go to the manufacturer's website. If you don't want to buy a new digital TV or can't afford one, then you can get a converter box and the coupons will help you offset the cost.
Analog. You're looking a little pale. Have you checked your hue?
Who?
Your hue.
Oh, right. Is that better?
Looks good. Let's take a look at what happens after February 17th, 2009.
Oh, so now you can predict the future. Now that is some useful technology.
So, digital is here, high definition is here, and multicasting is here. And analog TV goes away forever on February 17th, 2009.
What do you mean I'm going away?
Analog television broadcasting is going away, and digital TV opens up a whole new world of possibilities. For example, your cell phones could become portable TVs.
And we are not that far away from those devices being able to receive over the air those terrific digital images.
It's a very exciting time from a broadcaster standpoint, the future that is. I mean, what are we going to do with all this? It's neat.
It's just like the first TV, then the first color TV, and the first live satellite image on TV. Now it's DTV, just another milestone. See, look here. This is HD.
Wow, that is clear. I can see the drops of sweat on that basketball player's head.
Now just look at all these channels.
Wow.
See, Grandpa?
Look at the sports. Football, baseball. Hey, would you look at that? Borneo. I've always wanted to go there. Oh, look, go back. Golden Girls. Love that Betty White. Hubba, hubba. There's my favorite news broadcast. I've never seen the pimple on that anchor's head, though. And look, marlin fishing. Look at the size of that fish. And hey, would you look at that? The space shuttle is going to take off and the ground is shaking.